Millennial pause. Oh my God, I was literally breathing. If you've spent any time on TikTok, you have probably seen the comment millennial pause, which points out whenever someone who is oftentimes millennial or older takes a slight pause before speaking.
I've got some.
Hey, Jack.
Wow, Jack.
The pause is because, well, back in my day, before the motion pictures were captured so quickly on the telephone, we had to make sure that the phone buffered properly, and I didn't want to be cut off, so I had to wait, okay? Times are different. Give Grandpa some grace, please. It is a harmless quip. I know that. I know when things are funny, okay? But I think things are too deep, and I think that there's actually an indicator that this is affecting art and the ability for art to be consumed and retained. And I actually do think that the retention of art leads to the rise in media illiteracy that we're seeing every day. Trying to catch someone for being a millennial has become the focus rather than paying attention to what the millennial might actually just be saying. And while I do think that the phrase millennial pause is a symptom of the delusion that is age and ageism on the internet, I actually want to table that discussion and focus on the collective disintegration of our attention span. The phrase primarily happens on TikTok, and as a creator myself, I am used to hearing the word hook. You gotta hook the audience within the first 3 seconds, hook them in the next 15, or otherwise they're gonna swipe away and you're meaningless and you will be loveless and you will die and you will be unimportant, and I need to call my therapist actually. But should music have the same hook? And obviously I think we wanna be engaged and we wanna be a part of the art that we're taking in, but I wonder if we've sacrificed the ability for art to have a slow burn when some of us just need longer attention spans. Beyonce famously said,
people don't make albums anymore. They don't make albums. They just try to sell a bunch of little quick singles and they burn out and they put out a new one and they burn out and they put out a new one. People don't even listen to a body of work anymore.
And that was 10 years ago. Look, I don't want to shade anyone, but it does feel like since 2012, the album cycle has gotten even less cohesive. I think the Beatles and their album Abbey Road, where there was a 5-song flow from You Never Give Me Your Money to She Came In Through the Bathroom Window. And for a teenager like me who was smoking the ganja out of my parents' bedroom, I did not know which song was what. It was flowing seamlessly, tapestry, cohesive, right into the next song. And I was just like, oh my God, dude, this is out of the world. Like there's, and that art form of like this flowing experience doesn't really happen with artists these days. I think of Janelle Monáe and Beyonce, but I can't think of a newer artist who has built up enough trust within their fan base to suspend the audience to that experience. Therefore, most albums that we hear today are really just kind of a collection of singles. And therefore, I ask, are we the audience ruining music? I tend to believe that artists would prefer to make a longer song because do you guys remember that god-awful period of music where every song was 2 minutes or less? Like, that's foreplay. Okay, where's the bridge? Where's the outro? Where's the meat? There are artists who release extended versions of their songs. I think of Remy Wolf, who released an extended version of Prescription, which clocked in at 7 minutes and 12 seconds versus like the official release was 3 minutes and 33 seconds. There is an indulgent musical break where you just hear her go off and you hear her be her truest form. And obviously I'm not saying that every song should be as long as a YouTube video, but I think that an artist not trusting her audience to be able to get the full version of the song is the audience ruining the art as it was fully intended. And honestly, I prefer the 7-minute version, so please go listen to it. It's called Prescription. You don't even realize how long it is because it's like very good. And I think that we should be able to give artists our trust for them to make art as they intend. I remember when Emma Chamberlain went on a dopamine detox and she chronicled it on her podcast, and I remember listening to that and being like, sounds great, I'll never do it. That's awesome, not for me. Love that you're doing that. Put me in hell, actually, darling. Is there a lake, a fire? I'll join. Like, that's not my tea. That's not my ministry. These days, it's looking pretty good to me because I am addicted to media. Not only social media, like all media, apps, podcasts, music, YouTube videos. Like if there's a screen, I'm there. I'm in it. I'm watching. I'm glued. Blue light, my favorite light. Like for example, I was unraveling some chords, making music of my own, and it was a 20-second task. And I was like, oh, I need a podcast. What? Why would I need a 20 seconds? You can't go 20 seconds without being inundated with someone else's voice? I'm sorry? Like, that was a moment for myself where I was like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? Literally, what's going on? Are you okay, mama? No. The answer is no. The answer is no. I'm not okay. I'm addicted to all media. I love you guys enough to be honest that, like, I am dysregulated from, like, my nervous system right now. Like, I have a subscription service to every single streamer, YouTube Premium, podcast, social media. I, like, go to bed looking at my phone because I just woke up. And what was I doing right before I went to bed? Looking at my phone. And like, I'm a grown man. Like, I'm a grown adult who's recognizing that like I've been affected and that my attention span is much shorter than it used to be. So I'm like, what's happening to the kids? What world are we bringing up for the children? I believe the children are our future. Teach them to look at their phone whenever they're slightly uncomfortable. Teach them to like go to dinner and not be able to talk to adults because they're looking at an iPad. I kind of freak out about that because I know for myself that I'm like, ooh, yeah, I like need media all the time. And my attention span has been affected. And I think that a dependency on media really has a lot to do with this like perpetual fear of missing out. I think that there's a part of that definitely within this. I want to be plugged in. I want to be on top of the culture, which moves faster than it ever did. Social media moves faster. News moves faster. Music and clips, media it goes viral faster than ever before. So if you're not watching it, constantly looking for like what's new, you're gonna miss out. And by the time a song comes out and you're into it, you love it, boom, it's Friday. There's a whole new playlist. New Music Friday, alrighty, I'm over it. Every album cycle is so quick, right? And so it's this thing where I think that we are not in an environment which is encouraging us to marinate and like investigate and break down art the way that we used to. And I think that the artists recognize that. I think the label executives recognize that. I think they realize that like if you're not watching a TikTok for more than like 25% of it, you're not listening to an album all the way down. You're not sitting down the way that you used to be forced to with a record player because you couldn't really change the song. You just had to suspend yourself to the experience. We don't have to suspend ourselves. Shuffle, no shade to Steve Jobs, you ruined music. Because as soon as I could take control of the album and like shift and mix and match and do what I wanted and like buy one song on iTunes and like only listen to that song from the album, I disrupted the flow. And that in conjunction with the way that we have just truly lost our goddamn minds because of the internet, I really worry about the state of art and the state of music because I really think that art is so important. I think that being able to break down media and break down just art in general is so important to the human experience. We have always had a version of art reflected back to us. It's so like Grecian and so like OG, like human pre-running water to like look and see a play and hear a song and experience humanity translated back to us. I truly think that it's one of the most human things is to like experience art, and when we are no longer holding that humanity in the sanctity that it deserves, we're doing ourselves a major disservice. Like technology and social media used to be this thing that is for our convenience, and we used to live in a world where this technology was optimized for us to be on the cutting edge, but now it feels like we're perpetually catching up, and I'm frankly getting a little exhausted of it. So if you are anything like me, I think it's time for us to slow down, catch our breath, and take a millennial pause. That's all I got for this week, you guys. I will see you next week. Also, quick check-in. I know some of you guys saw this on my community post, but I want to show the main. Look at this tattoo, you guys. Look at my tattoo, my Amy. I got my Amy yachted on me, dog. Yachted forever in ink and color. Just want to give her all her glory and show her off. My favorite part of this is when I flex my bicep, her booty gets big, and then when I pulse it, she dances. I love it so much. Okay, you guys, I'll see you later. Mwah, bye.